You made it lock in. Court lights flicker, I'm feeling that tip-off fever. NBA dreams spin tight like a crossover sleeper. Fourth and inches in the cold, crowd breathing like smoke. NFL grit in my voice when the pressure get woke. Engine scream through the night, that F1 razor. Lines cut clean, turn sharp like a hometown savior. NASCAR drift in my blood when the pace gets wild. I talk speed like a veteran, move calm like a smile. Legends born out of sweat, out of heartbreaks echo. I break plays down smooth, call the game like a maestro. Every lane that we touch, every story we show, this is where the truth runs. The Not Bland Show. Fast, race, whole crowd froze. Big drives, deep shots, watch the moment explode. Every angle hit heavy with a champion's glow. Step into the kingdom, the Not Bland Show.
Lock in. You made it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get locked into the Not Bland Show. I'm your host, Dujane Bland. I'm super excited about today's guest. I'm just going to say I told you so. I told you so. I knew it would have been a win a week ago. I knew it would have been a win this week. She delivered. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to say it too loud, but you might as well just go on there. If you're playing Drag Race Bracket Bonanza, run it back. Run it back for Epping, because Matt Smith Racing, hot. Angie Smith, on fire. I'm just telling you. I tried to tell you that at Gainesville, though. So y'all know this is nothing new from me. I want to thank everybody who supports this show. VTR and Sports, powered by ESPN. I want to thank you guys for being an affiliate of the Not Bland Show and sportsjourney.com. Everything Nitro, Drag Race Reference, and of course, our sponsor, Drag Race Bracket Bonanza. What a weekend, man. What a weekend of Drag Race Bracket Bonanza. I can't wait to share some of this weekend's stats with you. But before we get into all of that, we're going to go ahead and head to a commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to have the Potomac Nationals Pro Stock Motorcycle winner. 200 for women, by the way. Angie Smith.
Drag racing fans, check out Drag Race Bracket Bonanza. It's the free, family-friendly fantasy bracket game. Now, after final qualifying at every national event, you can fill out your bracket for all the pro classes.
It's free, easy to click on your picks. If you need some help, just hit the randomizer button to fill in the blanks. It's for fun, stay engaged, and pick your winners today.
They snap off. They leave within 0.07 of a second of each other. Going down the drag strip, Smith is quicker at the incrementals, and Angie Smith becomes the 200th professional win for female racers in the NHRA. Smith does it with a ridiculous 6:68 at 2:01. Tony, this is the run she wanted to make in Chicago.
And as Angie Smith starts to take in this moment, not only was it a challenging weekend for the operations, you're going to see that this is now officially the 200th professional win for women in the NHRA. And to hand her this Wally of the Diamond Wally for Angie is none other than Shirley Muldowney with the big hug. And Angie, I can't even imagine where your thoughts were coming into this weekend. We know what a challenging weekend it was for the whole operation, plus this milestone win. What will be your leading memory from this weekend?
You just can't give up. And when people believe in you, and when my husband called me and told me to come to the hospital and said, we're running the bikes, you know, that meant he believed in me and he believed in our team. And it's just unbelievable that this is happening, and it was an emotional weekend to finish it off like this. I was bummed about Chicago, but I guess it was meant to be. This Denso bike is bad to the bone. Everybody that helps us, Mark and Marshall Stocksmith, Outlaw, Beer, VP Race and Fuels, Redline Oil, Max ECU. Thank you for everybody. NHRA, thank you. Royce Miller, You did an excellent job. I love it here. I won here many, many years ago. I'm telling my age. I want to be back. I can't wait to be back. 200 wins for women. Shirley Muldowney paved the way for us. Let's go.
And we welcome in, this is 200. What's going on, Angie? How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great. I was so ecstatic to see you get the win in my hometown, at my home track, with all the hard work that's been going on for you guys from the off season to now, to see what I've noticed since last season with your bike, the level of consistency, but this season is just on another level. And for you to be able to cement that with a win, it has to feel great with all of what you guys done to prepare for this season.
Yes, for sure. And I thought one got away from me at Chicago, and you never know if you're gonna get back there. But I think all the cards fell how they were supposed to fall. Now I see how they were supposed to fall. But I was doubting it last week. I'll tell you, I was doubting it.
Yeah, I was like, man, of all things to happen, but I said it, I tweeted it, and I think I said it on Facebook. I felt like this season, I felt like you've had the best bike in the camp, and you had the best bike. Sorry, Matt, you had the best bike in Chicago, and boy, you came out here and just killed it in Maryland. And before I get any further, how is Matt doing?
He's doing good. We went to the doctor today. They are in the process of getting all the paperwork done and all the things. We just got confirmation this afternoon. He's going to have surgery. We don't know exactly what day, but the doctor said ASAP. So when a doctor says that, I imagine it's going to be in the next couple of days.
Yeah, I was in that spot. Probably it's been about 12 years ago or so. And yeah, mine was emergency as well. It was about ready to rupture. So I didn't even know what I was dealing with for the past 6 years until it was on the verge of rupturing. So yeah, he's going to have a whole new way of life when this thing is out.
That's what everybody tells him. So I'm just ready to, get it handled so he can get back feeling better, and nothing's going to stop him from being at the racetrack. So
no, no. I want to say what a masterful job by you and your team, given the circumstances, a lot on the line. And it seemed like everything was different this past weekend. I mean, the level of focus for you, it just seemed like you were in a zone, and there was, it was one of those, that championship zone where there's nothing that's going to phase you. The team was hitting on all cylinders. And man, for a second there, I'm like, Gianna, okay, you coming out here dropping it too. Well, might have a little bit of competition here. All four of those bikes are on mean right now.
They sure are. And, a testament to what we do back here at the shop, all the hard work that we do. When we got to the track on Thursday, he wasn't feeling well. And for Matt Smith to say, I need to go to the emergency room is a big deal. So I drove probably 75% of the way up there because he wasn't feeling well when we left. And I jumped in the driver's seat, and then he got sick because of the pain was so bad. So we parked at MIR and got the car out, and took him straight to the emergency room and spent the entire day at the emergency room. He didn't get admitted until 11 o'clock that night. And so I didn't leave the hospital until about 11:30. And then I come back to the trailer, slept 3 hours, went back because I wanted to be there when doctors did their rounds at 6:30 that morning. And there were several conversations between me and Matt, and we were, what I thought was 100% not racing. At 7 a.m. on Friday morning, we were 100% not racing. We were going to put oil in all the bikes, go up to the starting line, stage the bikes back out of the beam, bring the bikes back to the trailer. Sunday, do the same thing because there was only 15 motorcycles, and call it a weekend and write it off. Our crew chief our team owner's sick, and just write it off. At 10 a.m., for some reason, I don't know if Matt took a nap or I don't know what happened between 7 and 10, but he said, we're gonna run all 4 bikes. And I was like, what? With who and what? And like, what? And he said, we're gonna run all 4 bikes. He goes, you can do it. And I'm like, I don't know, Matt. Like, I've always had Matt at the track. I have made thousands of passes on a Pro Stock motorcycle.
Yeah.
I have not made one single pass on a Pro Stock motorcycle without him on the property. Not one.
I did not know that.
Not one time. I will say, not a Buell. I mean, every Buell pass, I rode a Suzuki way back when, but I only made a handful of passes, like 16 to 20 passes. I have not made one single pass on a Buell Pro Stock motorcycle without him on the property.
Wow.
I had to put big girl panties on.
Yeah. Quick too.
Yeah. And I was like, and he said, I believe in you and I believe in our team and we can do it. I was like, I said, all I can do is do the very best I can.
Boy.
And I think we knocked it out of the park. But I will say this is a testament to the people that we have working for us, our team that we have put together. Every single person pitched in. Every single person did jobs that they had never done before. And it was like, it was magical.
That's amazing. That is amazing. And, you know, I don't think people realize how important it is about just simply lining up the bike.
Yes, for sure. And so, you know, through that whole deal, after, you know, when he said that, you know, he wants us to run the team. So like Friday morning, you know, we run Friday at 1:00. And I was like, well, so I was like, I don't have any maps for the fuel injection because we've never raced at MIR before.
Right.
So I went back to the track, got all the laptops because Matt is old school. He doesn't do Team Viewer with our fuel injection computers, but just because he doesn't want anything to happen to him, he doesn't want them viruses, nothing like that. We don't hook those up to the internet. So I went back to the track, got all 4 laptops, a run book, the weather, got everything I needed, went back to the hospital. He looked at the weather, he looked at the run book, made us fuel injection maps for all the bikes. Then I went back to the track, loaded all the maps, warmed all the bikes up, and went out there Q1 and went low. I went low, and it was crazy because I knew I was next to the last pair, and I knew it was me and Richard and Gage, and it was supposed to be Matt, but Matt was not going to be there. So we made the pass. I asked what happened to Gage, and they said he shut off. Well, I was kind of sitting down there, and then Richard made a pass or whatever, and they were like, "You're low," and I was like, "But they still got to run," and because I was not in my thinking capability with people, and I was just focused on our team. And they were like, "No, you're low." And I was like, wow. And I mean, like, that's just a testament to all the hard work we do here at the shop. We prepare the motorcycles to go out there. And when we show up at a race every Friday, we are prepared to do our very best.
Yeah. And it's been like that from season's beginning. This team has been on a whole nother level. I talked to Richard. Me and Richard talk occasionally, and he said it was the worst thing that Eddie and Andrew could have said was to go work on your 60 foots, and they did, and look what happened.
So there was a lot of back and forth last year.
Yeah,
them poking the bear, and the bear being Matt. Poke the bear, you got to be able to handle the bear. And we went testing. We had 3 different test sessions in Florida before the first race in Gainesville, because when you poke the bear, he's going to figure it out. It might
Yes.
take us a little bit longer to figure things out, and we may not have all the technology and the machinery and all of this that other teams and other shops do. But Matt Smith is going to figure it out.
No doubt. No doubt. I thought, and I think it's even more impressive that he does it the old school way. And to see these bikes being where they are, I was a little concerned, especially after Charlotte, and big numbers being run. And every time Matt Smith Racing has gone out and shown that they're head above heels of everybody else, here comes a penalty. And I'm the one that's the biggest vocal about it. I hate it because I feel like you're penalizing people for working hard in the offseason. So it's been nice to see not only you guys continue to be able to do this without too much interference, but also you also got another team in Ryan Aller that was right there as well, trying to put their name into that also.
Yes, they're doing a great job. I know, Ryan has called Matt a couple times and just, they've casually had conversations about the motor and things like that. And I know Matt has given him a little bit of guidance because, at the end of the day, we don't want anybody to quit just because they're blowing up motors. We need to make our class as healthy as possible. And I know Matt has given him a little bit of guidance. Now, I'm not saying a lot for sure. I'm not saying that at all. And pointed Ryan in the right direction. And whether he used that or not, I don't know. But I know that Ryan's program has really turned around. And they are going to be a force to be reckoned with, along with our team and along with Vance and Hines. So there's going to be a lot of good pro stock motorcycle drag racing coming up. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I'm really excited about where the class is headed with all the competition. And I'm really excited for you this season. I went back and did some, I'm a numbers guy, so I'm a pretty big nerd here. So I went back and looked at your qualifying average from 2025, and the qualifying average was a 6.833. And your ET qualifying ET, or I should say eliminations ET, was a 6.81 or 801. That was for the entire 2025 season. So up to this point, your qualifying ET average is a 6.738.
Woo!
Insane and an impressive jump. You look at your ET average ET during eliminations through these races here, 6.762.
Wow.
And what's even more impressive, through the first 5 races of last season, you were 9-9. You are 11-4. Ground win-loss record, 1 runner-up, and 1 win.
Wow.
That's
impressive.
Absolutely impressive.
Can we quit now? No, I need a couple more races.
Couple more races, and I'm really confident in what I'm seeing and what I said. We had a conversation when you had your number 1 qualifier in Gainesville, and it really has been a maturation process. But I believe that process started in 2025 of the establishing a level of consistency. And then that consistency came right into Gainesville. And look, should have won in Chicago. I'm just going to say it. You had the best bike on the property.
For sure.
Wasn't for a malfunction. You win here, and this bike is humming and has been going into Epping. I'm telling you guys right now, you might as well go on and just make Angie Smith your pick for the win.
But we're not
Drag Race Bracket Bonanza. Oh, that's right. Oh,
Bristol.
Okay, so we're gonna have to wait till Bristol, guys.
Yeah.
But still, and that is a very, very good track for most of the bikes as well. I hate that you guys don't want me at Epping because
I know
I love that momentum.
Yeah.
That week after week. But Bristol's a really nice track, and the bikes really love that track. What is your favorite part about Bristol? I
love Bristol. Well, it's 2 hours from home. A lot of friends and family will be there. But it's Thunder Valley. I mean, the drag strip between the mountains.
It's amazing.
I always, 100% of the time, take the scooter all the way up to the top where you can see over the drag strip. Just an amazing view that they have. And it's just a great facility. I love racing there. I think I've been to the semifinals a couple of times there. I have good history there. I'd like to make a little bit more history, but we're just gonna go see what we can do. We'll see.
Yeah. I really, the whole entire team's in a great spot, but I'm really happy for you. And on top of that, this weekend, to snag and be a part of NHRA history and, women history, you've really been a staple within the women community out at the racetrack. And to snag that 200th, to have Shirley there, I always tell Shirley when I see her in Gainesville, it's not a Gator Nationals until I see Shirley. To have her hand that Wally over to you, and to be able to cement yourself as one of the one of these milestones for women. What feeling was that like?
It was priceless. I didn't know. Matt actually told me in Chicago when we were on the way home, he said, if you would have won, you would have been the 200th female. And I was pretty bummed and pretty upset about it because I want to be a part of this history of NHRA. I have dedicated 20 years of my life to drag racing, and now I feel like I'm a mentor to Gianna. I want to be there, and I plan on being there for several more years. I want to be a part of the history of NHRA, and it was just so priceless. Like, I don't think that I thought about that. Like, I kind of forgot about it. I know in the semifinals when Jackie won, Matt said, well, Jackie won, so you're not going to be the 200th, but please go be the 201. And so I went up there thinking that, that milestone was gone and it was going to be 201, but I didn't know it was pro. So, and then when it happened and I rounded the corner and they were holding the sign up, I literally was crying because you always want to be part of history, and you always want to be, and I will forever go down as the 200th winner for pro for women.
Yeah. That is just, it was
I think
fantastic.
It was meant to be.
Yeah.
It was meant to be that way because I don't think Shirley was at Chicago. So I just think that everything aligned the way it was supposed to.
Yeah. And I told Richard when he got his first win, of his career, this just opens the door now. Like, the pressure's off. You've broken through the ceiling. Now it just starts adding up now. And it comes easier and easier. And especially with the way your bike has been performing, there is no question. I'd say the bike, but I also say you as well. Just something's different about Angie. There's another level of focus there, and the lights you had throughout the day, it just pure precision, Angie.
I've really tried to focus on me riding the bike, and I went back and looked at the entire season last year, and I realized that there was more than a handful of races that I gave up either on the starting line, or I didn't do my job riding the bike, or, I made a list of all the things. And those are the things that I went into this season and I said, I'm going to work on these things. I'm going to be a better rider. I'm going to be a better person riding the bike to give my crew chief feedback.
Yeah.
I need to be perfect as I can be on the bike, so Matt can do his job. And I really have put a lot of pressure on myself to be better. And I think it has really helped.
Yeah, it definitely has showed up this season. And you see the work that's been put in. And under the circumstances you had this past weekend, I mean, that's the that's the catalyst. Being able to go out and do what you need to do, be focused on that. But you had all these outside things that you had to contend with, you and your team, and you were able to block that all out and use that as as a force to push you throughout the day and push you to a win.
Yes, it was crazy because you can't imagine the amount of people that wanted to ask about Matt. And I would, I wanted everybody to know about Matt. So I, answered all the questions. And like the only thing that I'm going to say is I didn't get a chance to sign as many autographs as I needed to and all of that. But I think the whole entire community understood what I was going through when you're a man down, and like I was taking on roles that I've never had to take on. I was running around crazy in our pit just trying to get everything done for 4 motorcycles, but we got everything done. And I made a deal with myself. When I put my helmet on, I said the only thing that matters is making this bike go straight down the track and shifting on time and being as perfect as I can. I can't do anything about Matt's health when I'm on the motorcycle. I can't change any of that stuff. I just have to be as perfect as possible. And I just, with me not having raced with him not on the property before, I just kept telling myself, he's at the other end. He's at the other end of the track. You can do this. You've done this 1,000 times. You know what to do. Just do it. And that's what I just kept telling myself. And I think it was controlled chaos, but we did the plan beautifully.
Yes. Yeah. And man, going through this now makes it easy the next time that this has to happen. Everybody's been through it. They've had an experience at it. They've learned some new rules, and it makes it a little bit easier if something has to go and you have to do this again. So and you had success, so that makes it even feel even more easier. Fan question here: have you looked into other classes if you wanted to leave Pro Stock Motorcycle, like Pro Stock or Top Fuel?
Well, actually, it's funny. I always wanted to drive a Top Fuel car. Everybody wants to drive a Top Fuel car,
right?
Because they're just fast and loud and they're badass,
right?
And I actually have tested a Pro Stock car back in 2010, way long time ago, and it was really cool too. I'm getting old. Like, I love Pro Stock Motorcycle. I do.
Yeah.
And I love that I am getting better at it, and I'm trying to perfect it and make me better. And I really want to be able to have a shot at that championship. And I mean, maybe this year's that year, maybe it's not. I don't know. I'm not putting any like focus on that or anything.
Yeah.
My plan is I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, and we'll see how everything works out. But I'm just trying to perfect riding the bike and just being better every single time. And if I went to another class, if I had the choice to go to another class, I mean, yeah, everybody wants to go Top Fuel racing, but there's so many good, like Maddie Gordon, she's so awesome. And like all of those new people in there, I'm just fine where I am. I love Pro Stock Motorcycle. I have Denzo and all the partners we have behind us. They love the bikes too. I'll just stay put right here.
Yeah. I have, over the years, as I've gotten to learn about these bikes and really learn and talk to other riders and crew chiefs, it's something that I would even try. And I'm not much on being exposed like that. But I told Eddie, I said, what would it take to get me on one of those things? And I just way too much. Yeah. There's no way. I can't. That bike's going to 60-foot terrible.
Right.
I am too big for that. But I really love the bikes. In the competition, the level of competition that we're seeing and have been seeing is just incredible. My last question to you, when you were here, when you started, there were very few ladies. And now we're seeing them all across in Top Fuel. We're seeing them in Pro Stock. They're everywhere. The Top Alcohol Dragster. how cool is it to see young women coming into the sport, coming up through the ranks and getting into the pro ranks, and being able to, go out there and kick the guys in the teeth a little bit.
I love it. And, my motorcycle's pink, and, I have a lot of little girls that come over there and they were like, I love your bike. And, they want to race. I think it's great, especially with the program with the junior dragsters and,
Mhm.
the path that the kids have these days to come up and to race is just wonderful. And I think that's great. I didn't get to race a junior dragster, and I wish I would have had the opportunity to do that, but I didn't. And,
Yeah.
you never know. I might have gotten better and, or maybe I would have done something else. I just think that it's great that the girls and the boys can compete together, and that these girls don't look at racing as a man's sport,
Yeah.
that they are looking at it as, I can go in there and I can do that and I can be like her and she's a role model to me. And that, at the end of the day, I just want to be a positive role model. I want, the little girls to look up to me and say, well, if she can do it, I can too. And I think that goes a long way. And, another thing is I love being a mentor to Gianna. Her and I share a lot of things. I tell her things that over the years that I have learned with racing and all the setbacks that I have. And I tell her how I handled things. And I think that has really helped her in some instances. It's just one of those things. I didn't have that, so I had to figure it out on my own.
Yeah.
These boys that I race with, they are naturally gifted, and so they can do it. And I had to figure things out, and I had to test, and I had to get better, and I had to go to the gym every day, and I had this long regimen of things that I had to do to make me better.
Right.
And it was just something that I felt like I had to be a little bit more committed than the guys, especially like my husband, because he's naturally gifted. He can drive a Pro Mod car. He can do it all.
Right.
And I just think that, kind of the plan that I've formed and I have, I give all that to Gianna, and she can take whatever she can from that to help her be successful.
Yeah. That's one thing I really like when I watch a lot of young ladies, like Gianna, Jasmine, they have that championship pedigree, and I look at them, and they do have that talent. You can see it, the ability to go out there and take over a moment. I look at somebody like Maddie Gordon, and she does it all. She can weld, she can change clutches, she can do it all, and it is so awesome to see. And on every level, drag racing is an equalizer, unlike any other sport on the planet. There's no question. You don't have to worry about, well, can they participate? No, it is a unisex sport, and it doesn't matter who you are. You can get out there and go out there and dominate and try to win. And I think that's what makes our sport so special, especially in this era of drag racing. And I enjoy seeing that, and I enjoy seeing the way being opened up more for young women. So it's really awesome to see.
It's so unique that when you put that helmet on, it knows no gender.
Exactly.
Whoever's in the other lane, you're expected to get it done, and you're expected to do your job, and you want to turn on wind lights.
Yeah. Angie, this was a pleasure, and I thank you for taking the time to come on the show. And I'm looking forward to Bristol. I'm looking forward to Bristol to keep this momentum rolling, and maybe snag another one of those silver Wallies for Angie Smith.
I got it right here. It's sitting on my desk.
That's so awesome. That is so awesome.
It's beautiful, and I'd like to add to the collection.
Yes, definitely. Angie, enjoy y'all week off, and Bristol, here we come.
Here we come. Thank you.
Thank you. Angie Smith, everybody. That was fun. That was fun. I'm really happy for Angie. All the hard work throughout the years that she's put in, and to see her have one of the best bikes out there in the circuit is really, really cool to see. She's someone that's put in the work and, have grinded all these years. And, it's time for Angie to get her shine and be at the top of the ladder and be that person when you go up to the line, you're like, I got to have my best. Or not only is she going to leave on me, but she's going to outrun me too. Because right now, that bike is flying. Absolutely flying. And I'm loving it. I'm loving every minute of it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break, and we're going to go into our Drag Race Bracket Bonanza top 10. Trust me, the top 10 has flipped upside down again. And there's someone that watches this show that managed to make it in the top 20. I wonder who that is. We'll find out right after the break. Talking Funny Cars with Buddy Hall will be back. I believe it's right around Indy. And, of course, they're going to have great episodes. And I think they're going to reach out, do some new things and new people with the show. So I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes. And, we all love Talking Funny Cars with Buddy Hall. So if you haven't seen it, or if you just want to binge watch, you can go to their YouTube channel, or you can watch it on the NHRA Fast channels. As they cycle through everything that we have NHRA wise. But you guys know what time it is now. It is time for Drag Race Bracket Bonanza Top 10. And here we go. Boy, what a weekend we had in Drag Race Bracket Bonanza. And here is your top 10. SST 5345 is number 1 at 499.074, and number 2, Cupcake, 493.523. Sam's Gallbladder, what a name. Third, 487.841. In fourth, As 3 at 486.217. In fifth, CTS 31314 at 485 points, 0.264. In O2 Plum at 6 with 484.905 points. In 7th, Jambo at 482.844 points. In 8th, iBuild was near the top. He is now 8th at 482.241. And in 9th, Black NHRA 1 at 481.464. In 10th, Big Daddy, 474.246 points. And if you'll take that notice in the Drag Race Bracket Bonanza Potomac Nationals, do you see the name that we see here? It is the man they call Memphis Lonnie, in the 18th spot, finished in the top 20 of the 2026 Potomac Nationals. Dude, what a weekend. What a weekend. And if he had played the same bracket in the Not Bland Show League, he would have finished number 1. We'll have to ask him about that. Anyway, at the end of the day, it is your top 10 2026 season after the Potomac Nationals. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we will go into our league now, as we have our league going on, and it's been interesting to see guys and girls where they are. Our winner for the Potomac Nationals is the one they call Mac 1320, Miss Mac Chats, at number 1 93.159. She gets the W for the Potomac Nationals. I managed to finish in second. I got lucky. I think I had a good finals in a lot of my brackets there. I could tell you my funny car bracket was trash. Absolute trash. When Spencer went out, it was over. You got Nicole Clark there at third. Fast Eddie WFO at fourth, and Drag Racing Girly 99 in fifth. So that's your top five there. You see Memphis Lonnie in ninth. And I want to know in the comments, why did you play a different bracket in our league? I'm really interested in that. He said I'd like to thank all of the little people. Yeah, great stuff, man. Top 20. I just want to know why he played a different bracket in this league and didn't play the same bracket. That's all I want to know. Because he'd have finished number one. He'd have beat Mac out by a long shot. Look at our top 10 here for the Not Bland Show League. Nicole Clark is still in number one at 468 points, 0.88. I have managed to move in number two, 463.567. WPR 58 at 444.5. I sound like that wasn't good. 445 points, 0.191. Drag Race Girly 99 at 417.412. Mac 1320 there in fifth at 407.537. You have Ironhead Motorsports in sixth at 405.384. Memphis Lonnie in seventh at 378.591. I think he had the deal where his stuff didn't post one race, but still in seventh. Look who's in eighth, who's coming and rising from the grave. Dave W. 373.311. Ninth, Nitro Scooter at 359.127. And to round out our top 10, it seems like Nitro Performance Guy has been in the 10th spot for the last couple of weeks, but he's staying in the top 10 there, staying ahead of the bump there in top 10 at 344.476. That, ladies and gentlemen, is your Not Bland Show top 10. Well, let's go and we'll do some fun facts for our Drag Race Bracket Bonanza Potomac Nationals. And this week, only one perfect bracket. That was in Funny Car. They're up to 365 perfect brackets overall and 47 this season. Something I found interesting was out of the 42 different riders that have signed Drag Race Bracket Bonanza plaques, Sean Langdon signed his 9th this weekend. Austin Prock signed his 19th plaque. It is his first since he has switched to Bob Tasca Motorsports or Bob Tasca Racing. He has further extended that lead that he has as being the most in Funny Car to ever sign plaques at 19. Greg Anderson signed his 13th this weekend, and Angie Smith signed her first Drag Race Bracket Bonanza plaque, becoming the 42nd different rider to sign a plaque. Really cool. And Gage holds the record. He is at 23 plaques signed. You have Doug Coletta, who is leading Top Fuel at 12. Funny Car, as we said, Austin Prock extends his lead to 19. And Dallas Glenn holds the record right now at 16. Greg Anderson only 3 away from tying the record, 4 away from taking it away from Dallas Glenn. Also, of the the E1 losses that the E1 loss that really wrecked everybody's bracket. And it wrecked a great number of brackets was when Matt Hagan lost to Austin Prock, who was at position 9, position 11. Matt was 6th. Only 9.14% of Drag Race Bracket Bonanza players had Hagan to win the race. And the third most in Funny Car. Prock went on to win that race, of course, as we all know. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your fun facts from the Potomac Nationals of Drag Race Bracket Bonanza. We'll continue to put some out throughout the week as we move on towards Epping. I really wish the bikes were there in Epping. I really do. Randy said Gianna is up and coming, and she is in the cool Salinas family. Sure would like to see Mike back in the seat. Wouldn't we all? And yeah, she's coming up. I really thought Gianna had, and me and Dave W had this conversation. We were having this conversation throughout, and when she started making those runs and really started, bike was on kill, I thought that there was a chance that it was Angie and her. It was going to be a very close race. And Angie had some competition there. Unfortunate red light for her. I know she's kicking herself about that, but I just hope that you don't focus on that. Sometimes it's one of those things. Sometimes you turn on the bulb of death, but you can't let that be a real focus and move on. Got a great bike. She's a great rider, and like you said, up and coming, and that win is coming real soon. My camera guy, Fred Warner, he said, I remember the year that you, Angie, and Karen were at Cecil before. Yep, I remember that too. Was that the same year that Angel was still on the bike? I don't remember. Nose for Nitro says, it is so great to see great things happening for great people. Congratulations. Of course. Indeed. I think we did this one. And he said this game is silly. It is. It's silly when you're bringing up the rear, though, right? Mr. Dominating the last couple of years. Not this year. Not on my watch. He said he's in 4 leagues. So that might have something to do with it. He said, I didn't even know I was top 20. Yeah. Yeah, you were higher than that before the end of the race, I believe. And I don't remember where it was, but you were up there. You were up there because actually Dave W. actually pointed it out. That's how I knew. You're in the countdown, buddy. Top 10. There's no participation trophies here, buddy. You're in the top 10. Drag Race Mayhem, what's going on, man? He says, does the league give out participation spots? Absolutely not. Nah. We don't do that here. Also, do we know who Sean Langdon is on this show? He's Sean Langston, his alter ego. Yeah. So all I know is after Indy, y'all are in trouble. We'll see. Maybe Slime said I had Matty Gordon going a couple of rounds in almost every league I played in. Wrong. Sometimes it'd be like that. You're in luck. Mike will be back in the seat in a few weeks. That's right. For the Triple Crown. I forgot about that. And how about this team right here? This past Sunday. New car, learning its idiosyncrasies and what it needs. They put together a run that was very impressive. They had the qualifying run, great 8th mile. Look, just chipping away at it. And happy for Gerda and Lex and the whole team, what they were able to put together. And this past weekend, and seeing the progress that they're making with that new car. Look out, NHRA folks. Look out. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm going to tell you, I'm sure they're going to be making a couple more NHRA races. I'm looking forward to it, man. Somebody's going to get put on the trailer early. It was close. I mean, talk about keeping folks honest, and I won't even say it was keeping somebody honest. They had a real shot to win that round. They had a real shot to win that round. But great to see the progress. They had every right to be ecstatic for the performance that they were able to lay down this past weekend at Maryland International Raceway. Super excited for them and that team. So I'm going to tell you what, I do better in play NHRA. You do, by the way. I ain't even going to talk about, I'm not going to talk about that, but he is dangerous in play NHRA. If I were to do that, if I were to be able to do that, I wouldn't win anything. It's just one of those things. Everybody around me knows how to win in those things, and I have no idea. I have no idea. Because I was leading your league at one time. You definitely were. You definitely were. He was in the lead. But hey, man, 4 wide did it. And he has trouble with whatever submitting the 4 wide. It is weird because you have to pick the winner. Then you have to pick the placement of all three cars. So it kind of throws you off. So as they say, Lex would have won round 1 against most other racers, just had the wrong opponent in round 1. Yeah, I mean, that run was good enough to beat most everybody in outside of the Coletta cars. It would have held up and would have been a round win for them. But like I said, love the progress that they're making there with Lex and the crew. Look, one thing I'm going to say, look, I really don't understand the addressing of people who are negative, because people are going to be negative. And I also don't understand racers who address the fans who take a side or they turn on you. It's just the nature of the beast. Like, NHRA is not unique in any way. What I wish I would see from drag race fans more is the blind, the blind ride or die fandom, like a Dallas Cowboy fan. Ain't done nothing in 30 years, but they think they're winning the Super Bowl every year. Or a Buffalo Bills fan who has success, sniffs playoffs, possibly could go to the Super Bowl, and they wet the bed. But next year, they're still riding for that team. But just because you get a little venom and, you may not be the most liked or the highlight of the month, it's all part of fandom. As I've said it before, fan is short for fanatic. And they're going to be ups and downs. They're going to like you. They're not going to like you. It's just part of it. And I've never seen any other sport address those fans like NHRA and drag racers. Why worry about it? Because at the end of the day, they're vested one way or the other. It's the same thing. It's the reason why I learned early. I don't address negative comments. I don't address comments that take shots at me. Because at the end of the day, you fans will take care of it. I don't have to say anything. If somebody sees something in a comment that necessarily like, and they're a fan of mine, the fans will take care of it. And I don't need to address it at all, because people have an opinion, and opinions are like, everybody's got one. So it's fine. But it means that they're vested in something. And they're going to tune in every week, either to cheer you on or to boo the heck out of you and hope that you lose. But you know what? They're vested. And you're not going to be liked by everybody, and you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. So stop worrying about it. Go out, do your business, and if you get a little bit, I want people to lean into being a heel. I don't think Austin's leaned in enough. If he wins this, if I win this year, if I'm Austin Prock and I win this year, I'm doing a whole skit like I'm Roman Reigns, and I'm coming back next year with bloodline type t-shirts, and I'm changing my music that they play to the head of the table music. I'm leaning all the way in. I'm changing up everything. I might even stand at the ropes before signing autographs and throw the ones up. Lean into it. Have fun with it. That's what it's all about. Whether you're liked, whether you're a baby face or a heel, lean into it and have fun. Because you know what? If you invest into it, these people are going to get even more invested into it, whether they like you or don't. Because at the end of the day, are you selling t-shirts? Is viewership going up because they're looking to see you lose? Sure. If that's the case, then you've done your job. You keep doing your job. Let's not get our panties all in a wad because we're not everybody's flavor of the month. It's really, really dumb. Well, ladies and gentlemen, before we get out of here, NBA playoffs, Spurs, Knicks. I'm excited about both teams. I'm going to give it to you right now. I think you guys know this already. I'm taking the New York Knicks. Was told you that probably a couple weeks ago. You guys knew that probably knew that I was taking the Knicks to win the championship. I like what they bring to the table. They're a little bit more seasoned basketball team, some more veteran leadership. I like the Spurs a lot. They're a very good basketball team, but youth is a problem in these types of moments. Sometimes youth and athleticism and you know, great athletic ability takes over. Sometimes, though, in these moments, championship moments, where the pressure and the stakes are high, the pressure is high. Sometimes the youth shows in that way that they're just almost there, but not 100% ready. So I'm taking the Knicks. T-shirts, Memphis Lonnie, we're working on it. I'm just so busy right now, I don't have time to focus on it with everything that I've got going on. So it's tough. We're getting there, though. We're going to get there eventually. So we'll see. Hopefully by the winter, but we'll see. And thoughts on A.J. Brown? So I knew this was coming, and I think most Eagle fans knew this was coming. You know, I talked to Richard about it earlier this week when the trade happened, and his thoughts were similar to mine. What we need to realize is whether you love them or you hate them, the Eagles had weapons across the board. You didn't just have a number one wide receiver. You had your number two, your number three. You could probably even go as deep as having your fourth wide receiver that you had to respect. And then you had Saquon Barkley in the backfield that you also have to respect. You got a tight end in Dallas Goedert that you also have to respect. Then you have to take into consideration that Mr. Jalen Hurts can decide that he's going to pull the ball down and run at will anytime he so pleases. That's a lot to defend, a lot of area to cover, a lot of sideline to cover, a lot of things to worry about of maintaining proper gap responsibility, not leaving big gaping holes for him to run through. So there's a lot to be digested there, which does what? It creates one-on-one matchups for your wideouts, namely A.J. Brown. Because if I roll coverage, let's say I'm going to go ahead and I'm a man, but I'm also going to take my safety and I'm going to roll him over the top and kind of bracket him a little bit, right? So I'm going to take away the deep ball and I'm going to give him a confine of he's going to have to go up and get a 50-50 ball, or it's going to have to be thrown well, or it's going to be picked. He's going to New England where, can you name wide receiver 2, 3, or 4? I'll wait a little bit, but I know you can't without looking it up. A.J. Brown is the number 1 wide receiver. There is no number 2. There's no number 2 that I'm going to respect. So what does that mean? Good football teams with good defenses will just, if you have a good enough defense, you can take them away with your corner, your shutdown corner, whoever that is on your football team. Or if you don't want to take the risk because maybe your corner is 5'9", 5'11", 5'12", right? Not A.J. Brown size. So you'll roll coverage to that way, like we talked about earlier, and you'll use a safety. Maybe you'll do some type of hybrid, but you'll make sure that he's doubled at all times, taking him away, jamming him up, beating him up over there, and he's got to go somewhere else with that football. And who else on that team do we respect with the New England Patriots where you're going with that football? Again, I'll wait, but not too long because you can't name one. So it's cute. I'm happy for him. He gets to get out of the situation where he doesn't, for whatever reason, is not kosher with Jalen Hurts. I don't have to like a guy to go out and win, but some people, I guess, can't function well in that environment. So you get out. Yes, that team was a playoff team last year. But again, you're going to have to work 10 times harder to come up with the football. Now, we'll see how they use them. But like I said, unless they go and get somebody that's respectable, and I don't know anybody on the free agent market, you can say Stephon Diggs, meh on that guy. Who else is on the team to respect? So he's going to have a tougher road to toe. And I think you see some decreased numbers this year because I like A.J. Brown, but I mean, when I think of other dominant receivers, I don't think of him being that guy that we can mention right off the top just yet. So I think there's going to be a drop-off. And we'll see what they do and what they scheme up to try to get football. But at the end of the day, he is the man there. And that's what you wanted. But what comes with that is great difficulty. Because you're going to have to work extremely hard to get where you want to go and how you want to do this. So good for him. Eagles will be fine. And I don't expect them not to be a contender and talked about in the playoffs unless Nick Sirianni is still doing what Nick Sirianni does. And if we can't get that straightened out, the Eagles will be right where they are and where they were last year, and maybe a little bit worse because I think the Giants are going to be better given they have great and solid coaching. I'm not a believer in Malik Neighbors just yet. I don't know if he can stay healthy, and I don't think going and get Odell Beckham Jr. is going to help you there. And Washington, I believe, is going to be what they were in Jaden Daniels' first year and better because I think their defense will be a lot better. They're more athletic. They're younger, and they're going to be a tough team to deal with defensively. So going to be interesting for the NFC East. And, we'll see how it all plays out. Last year, I was over here crying, dude, was acting like he was the whole team. If I was a GM or owner, I'd bench him out of spite and leave him there for 2 years. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yes, Blake, I did see your guest. We've had a couple of those, and we'll cycle to them at some point. but I appreciate it. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we went a little bit over, but that's it. That's it for tonight's show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Share this with your friends. Great show. Thank you, Angie Smith, for taking the time to come on the show, and congratulations on your win and being the 200th woman to win in the pro category. Well, ladies and gentlemen, until next Tuesday, be good. Have a great weekend. See you later.
Crowd breathing like smoke, and it felt great in my voice when the pressure gets woke. Engine scream through the night. That F1 razor lines cut clean, turn sharp like a hometown savior. NASCAR drift in my blood when the pace get wild. I talk speed like a veteran, move calm like a smile. Legends born out of sweat, out of heartbreaks echo. I break plays down smooth, call the game like a maestro. Every lane that we touch, every story we show. This is where the truth runs. The Not Bland Show. Fast lanes, fast breaks, whole crowd froze. Big drives, deep shots, watch a moment explode. Every angle hit heavy with the champion's glow. Step into the kingdom, the Not Bland Show. Fast lanes, fast breaks, whole crowd froze. Big drives, deep shots, watch a moment explode. Every angle hit heavy with the champion's glow. Step into the kingdom, the Not Bland Show.